This woman made history as the first elected African-Caribbean woman to become a government minister. She had a kiss with Idris Elba and says that growing up with four brothers helped her navigate male-dominated Westminster.
Now, in her brand new memoir, A Purposeful Life, Labour MP Dawn Butler shares what she's learned about breaking barriers and inspiring change.
But we don't want to talk about that at first.
Well, we do, Dawn, of course we do. But we're all just agog at the idea that you could have been Mrs. Elba. What's the story with you and Idris?
East London's full of rich and vibrant people that have gone on to do amazing things, and Idris is one of them, I'm one of them, and there's loads of others, really. East London is the place to be.
Stop teasing us.
Go on.
What happened?
Well,
how did you meet? Were you mates?
It's all going to be in the second book, Kate. You're going to have to buy the second book.
Oh! But
no, we're just friends.
Just friends.
Of course, yeah. We're just friends.
Did you ever hope for more?
We were young teenagers, friends, having a good time in East London.
Oh, Dawn, you're such a teeth. You're such a teeth. Listen, you also say that you... I mean, it's great, your book, and it's fascinating to see what you've been through. So we'll talk about all the issues in there. It's a very personal thing, isn't it? Writing your life story, writing the things that have been your challenges and what you've gone through. Was it difficult to get it down, and did you look at your life and think, I can't believe I've done that? Absolutely.
I mean, the thing is, when you start to put things down on paper and you start journeying back through your life, you kind of realise all the things that have made you you. So as I was writing, it was like building a 3D model of myself, and I'm just like, oh, that's why I do that. That's why I speak like that. That's why I'm such an activist. You know, I've been an activist from the age of 5 years old. And so it kind of just all comes to life as I was writing it. And so that's why I hope, well, the conversations I've had with people with the book, everybody's picked up something different from it.
Well, what I picked up, and I really enjoyed your take on all this, is your acute sense of irony about the whole question of lying. I mean, you called Boris Johnson a liar in the House of Commons, and you were ejected from the House of Commons. Of course, he was proven to be a liar by Partygate, if only that, but, you know, and many, many other allegations. But the irony is that you yourself, all your life, because of your colour, have been accused of being a liar. You say I've got a note here, you were 8 years old when you were first called a liar in public by your teacher in front of the class because you just told a true story about something you'd seen in Jamaica on a visit to see relatives.
Absolutely. It was a cockroach that flew in Jamaica. I mean, they're big cockroaches.
Flying cockroaches,
scared the life out of me. So you can imagine I'm going back to school and I want to tell this story, and the teacher called me a liar and said that I either had to sit down and stop speaking or go outside the classroom as punishment.
Did she not believe that insects of that scale existed? Was that the core, or was there something fundamental about just her whole approach to you generally?
Racist?
I think she didn't have the lived experience that I had, and so she refused to believe it. And that's often what happens when it comes to race and racist incidents. Because people haven't got that lived experience, they refuse to believe it. And so there's always that question. You're always having to explain. You're always having to give evidence, more evidence. But ultimately,
more than a white child would. So if one of your white classmates had been on holiday to the West Indies and had told that story, you're basically saying that you don't think the teacher would have publicly, in front of the rest of the class, said, you're lying, get out.
Well, the fact is she told me to get out because she said that I was lying when I wasn't. I was telling the truth. And so from the age of 8, I knew then that you shouldn't let somebody call you a liar when you're not a liar, and when you need to just fundamentally plant yourself in your truth and call it out. And the thing is, if we want society to change, we need to have people to not judge everybody on their own lived experience and understand that the lived experience of a black person, a person of colour, a woman, a disabled person, a deaf person is different from your own, and it shouldn't stop you from believing them. What you have to do is put your own self-interest and privilege to one side and just listen, believe, and then think, what can I do to make the situation better in the future?
Did you know, when you called Boris Johnson a liar in the Commons, did you know, even before you said it, what was going to happen, that you were going to get kicked out, you were going to be suspended? Or was it just an impulse? You felt you couldn't keep it in any longer?
It was a build-up to... every week I kept thinking, how comes we're allowing this guy, who's the Prime Minister, to come into Parliament, the cornerstone of our democracy, of our country, and lie? to Parliament and the country, because we have no constitution in Parliament. It's like a old boys club, you know, honourable, you're an honourable member.
What was the specific lie that you called him out on?
Oh, I called him out on, he talked about the economy, how much it had grown. He talked about the investment in the NHS, and that wasn't true. He talked about COVID, bits about COVID that wasn't true. So all of these things which were fundamental and important to the country.
And you just went boom.
Yeah, you can't have a Prime Minister that just comes in and lies and then walks off, and then we're just supposed to accept that. And I just thought, I've had enough of this, I need to call it out.
How does it inform you when you're in your surgery, when people are coming in to tell you their stories and you have to then take up their representation? How does it inform you? Do you now believe people more, or does it make your process more rigorous in taking up their cause?
I always believe people when they come in. We take evidence from people. Obviously, they have to provide reference numbers. We have to make sure that we put a good case forward. So what's the best case forward that we can put forward? If somebody's got a housing issue, an immigration issue, how can we put the best case forward for them with their best interests at heart? You know, my old premise is, what can I do for my constituents? What is in their best interest? How can I help them? Not, oh my goodness, I haven't lived that experience. That can't be right. Why has this person got a mobile phone, you know, when they're supposed to be poor? That's the wrong attitude to take for somebody who's struggling.
Why do you call it, it's a good title, A Purposeful Life?
So we went through quite a number of titles and we couldn't kind of land on one. And then I was walking to the train station to go into work one day, and I was walking with purpose. And so I called up the publisher. I was like, I'm walking with purpose. We need to call the book
We need
to call the book I'm Walking with Purpose. And so we worked around that title, and then we landed on A Purposeful Life. And it's not just about my life. It's about everybody else's life and the purpose in their life. So whatever your purpose is in life, whether it's being the best friend to somebody, just do it with purpose, because you taking that act of being a best friend means that you're allowing your friend to go out and do crazy things and know that they've got a soft landing net that's always going to be a safe space for them.
It's a really insightful read. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for coming in. So we haven't got more time to talk about it.